Hello, I'm Joseph. I wanted to talk about Zig and Fleet. Zig, it's a better C, safer C, and Fleet is an editor that I honestly don't use except for composed multi-platform UI stuff. And the reason why I don't use it is that it's still riddled with issues. It's slow than trying to develop in JetBrains IDEA, and there's very little benefit for me. I love how Fleet looks. I like how it has everything organized, but for the most part, it's not a very useful tool for me over Visual Studio Code, which still starts up faster, still runs faster, and a lot of constants and still uses a lot less memory than Fleet, which is very weird because Fleet is supposed to be what JetBrains editors are not, and it's supposed to be more in line with like at least Visual Studio Code. And so there it's still what in preview, if I'm not mistaken. If I go to JetBrains, it's a public preview. So hopefully, when it gets out of preview, it'll meet all these things, but right now it's none of those things. I'm gonna go ahead and open it up though because it did add Zig support via a plugin. The plugin is not an official JetBrains plugin though. It's very weird they put this in tandem with like an official JetBrains blog post. Maybe it's their first uh like big plugin that's not JetBrains official. I'm not. I'm just weirded out by the whole context of why they put in the blog post. But you can go to plugins, add in Zig. You don't need to reinstall anything or restart anything. You do need Zig in your thing. It's supposed to auto install ZLS for you and everything else. So what I've done is I've actually just had my environmentals already set up in my path here, and I have Zig and ZLS just in case in my path. So that was there, and then I opened this up and ran it, and then it gives you syntax highlighting. I had to change the theme for this, by the way, because the syntax highlighting, if I go to theme here and I do dark, which just like so much gray text. Like this is not that much color it's adding in other than all the annotations and types here. It's mostly just gray text I was looking at, and I had to just swap it out for like the purple theme here. So fleet, dark purple, whatever. And it seemed to have a better readability, at least for me, in seeing some of the colors here. And then obviously you get to jump to definition. So if I wanted to see what this definition is, Control B on Windows. If not, you can right click and go to definition as well. Uh, why didn't that work? Hello? Did it break? Okay, it broke. Um, since it broke, I'm gonna have to do a restart. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this and reopen it up. It sucks it happens in this recording because I did like 5 other recordings, and of those 5, one of them worked perfectly. Every other time, it did exactly what I just ran into, which was uh, the the thing breaking here. So I can try it again. Right click, go to definition. There we go. That works. And then for autocomplete stuff, if I go and I look for key here, for backspace, control space, I get all the type of definitions and stuff here, which is really cool. And I can autocomplete as that. And then for playing, this is one part I did like over Visual Studio Code because this will set it up automatically. You hit play, this won't be here. You do edit, run configurations, and this will create the file for me automatically. And then you can type in Zig, and then it has several things. It does not have debugging support, unfortunately, but you can do Zig build run, hit save, hit play again, hit run there, or run right there, whatever you want to do, and then it will run it. So that's without the debugger, it's just running it via Zig build run. And there's not really much else to say. There's no um, refactoring that I'm aware of. That's maybe let's see what window two. No, no, that didn't refactor. Refactor symbol name. Yeah, there's no refactoring. So it's all pretty typical stuff, anyways. That is Fleet. Now, in comparison to something like Visual Studio Code, I'm gonna go ahead and close this real quick and to show you when I the same project on Visual Studio Code loads up pretty quickly, just like Fleet does. And the plugins I have installed, it's just the Zig language and code LLDB for debugging supports. And then, everything I just showed there, I can go to the definitions. This loads up much quicker. It doesn't have any of the issues I talked about with Fleet. autocomplete work instantly. I'm not sitting there waiting for it to feed through the C import Zig file, and yeah, it worked great. And then when I hit the launch, I can actually debug it. Now it's going to be a little bit slower to run the application because it is running through the debugger, but you see the same thing happening here. The only gotcha is you do have to set up the launch file, which if you don't know how to, you got to go figure it out on your own. There's no autocomplete for that, and the same thing for the task. This stuff is it's documented, but you have to go find it in when working with Six. So, anyways, that was Fleet. I just wanted to show you the Visual Studio version because I just see more colors. It's more consistently working. Less issues with having to restart the whole editor just to get something like autocomplete and go to definitions to work again. Um, yeah, if anyone else is using Fleet and they're also using Zig, which I think is so far and few in between, um, it's nice that they're adding it. I still think they have a lot more work to do with Fleet in the first place before they should be adding in additional language support.